we have a graphic of words or phrases that now you can't say. You can't say that. I mentioned a few of them before, and I'm just curious. Some of these maybe are obvious, but if you know why some of these are on the list now.
Mom and dad, I see why that would be up there.
Okay, why would mom and
language.
dad be up there?
I have a daughter with another woman, and when it's being taught in school that, oh, that's just the norm, that it's just mom and dad, it kind of offends us because we are lesbians, you know what I mean? We come from the community, and it makes us feel like we're not important enough to be called mom and mom or parents.
So should I stop saying?
What the hell is what?
Don't know if I'm pausing it too early here, but there's nothing wrong with being mum or dad or parents, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't still be able to say mum and dad if somebody has a mum and dad.
Yeah, I don't get what the issue is there. So you can say mum and you can say parents, but you can't say mum and dad.
If they have a mum and dad.
I don't get it. Mums and dads exist. That is the norm, because when a man and a woman comes together, they create a child. The only way a lesbian has a child is if there's a man involved in some capacity, whether she's adopted or not. A man and a woman produce that child. That child has a father out there, a biological father, their dad.
Saying that?
No, not you.
Because you're mom and mom?
No, not you per se. I'm just saying as far as it's
Oh,
being
but
taught.
anybody. If that was our experience, yours is mom and mom. I'm happy to say mom and mom, but why would mom and dad be on the don't say list?
It's,
Why not add mom and mom?
yeah, that, I mean, yeah, I
Or
get your
add
point
dad
on
and
that.
dad. But why is mom and dad offensive to your sensibilities?
I mean, to be honest, because it's being taught to my daughter, and she doesn't have a father figure. She sees two mothers. And so every time she reads something that says dad in there, you can see a little bit in her eyes. It's like, well, what's going on over there? Why don't I have a dad? So it's a sensibility issue.
Okay.
You do have a dad, you just don't know it.
Well, regardless of that anyway, there's a lot of kids who have grown up without a dad anyway, or
Exactly.
have grown up without a mum. You could have a single parent, anything could have happened along the way. So them kids are still going to be like, if somebody's parent walked out on them when they were younger, they're still going to have the same thoughts as well. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't still be able to use mum and dad.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point.
Yeah.
There's single parents out there. What, they don't matter? Shouldn't we have cancelled this a long time ago, since there's been single parents since God knows when?
You can't just cut things out of the English vocabulary just because things are different for different people. Do you know what I mean?
Let's go the whole way. Let's start cutting everything. She's offended that mum and dad exist. Single parents are offended that mum and mum exist and mum and dad exist. So let's not use either. Let's just cancel everything. Since everyone's offended by everything, and I have a right to be offended as well, and I know loads of single parents, I'll speak on their behalf. Let's just cancel everything. I don't know where these people get off thinking that they can dictate language and cancel words, and I'm offended by this and I'm offended by that. No one's invalidating the fact that you have a mum household, but that isn't the norm, because a mum and a mum can't produce a child. And it's fine. But that doesn't mean that because you feel some kind of way of it, we should alter the norm.
It's like a lot of things have changed in the world. Everyone's accepting it. Everyone's becoming accustomed to it. But it's like, it's this issue of always wanting to cancel out what was always normal, what is for other people. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't just have it all your way. It has to go both ways. So something so simple like mum and dad, which is just so normal, how can you want to cancel that out of the vocabulary just because there's now people in same-sex relationships raising kids? That doesn't matter. Just add that in, say whatever you want to say, but you can't expect other people to stop using something that is so normal and common as well.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's lunacy. They've just come completely mad
On the child's part as well. So I'm looking out for my daughter in that sense.
Well, isn't that a conversation that you should be having with your daughter anyway?
Oh, we
so that
have.
she doesn't take offense to terms
We
like this?
definitely have had that conversation, but in the same sense, there is an accountability for the school as well. I feel like when they're putting that inside of our homework and stuff like that, it's making the kid feel a certain type of way.
Help me out here.
It is the heterosexism of it all. Mom and dad are not canceled phrases. I can assure you, in schools all across the United States, school leaders are sending memos and teachers are sending memos home with their children about mom and dad. I think what we're missing here is the opportunity to be decidedly and deliberately inclusive of all parents.
I agree. I would say that of all these words on the list, the only thing that I've heard be talked about in my entire life being canceled, and it's not canceled, is the word tribe. It's about the rhetoric changing. We're not failing our kids these days at all. We're just changing. We're progressing, and we're allowing us to become more inclusive of a new generation of people. I'm glad that your parents were married for 50 years, but something is now changing, and we have to account for that.
Well, my thought is, regardless of your skin color, regardless of your race, why would you take offense to any of these terms or words?
I'll give you one.
You know what spook is?
Master bedroom. Here's a historical lesson. Master bedroom is the bedroom where master slept,
I understand.
where he raped enslaved black women,
I understand.
where black
Come on, man. You can't. No. I sleep in the master bedroom. This has nothing to do with slave masters.
Is it master just because it's the biggest room?
Yeah, but he's equating it to the slave trade, as in that's where master slept. You know, that's where the white master slept. It's not that. Like, it's just not. What are we gonna change it to? What's wrong with it being the master bedroom? That's what it is. It's not about this. Let me let him finish.
Yeah.
Maybe he has something.
I mean, I didn't even know that all of these phrases were being cancelled.
Yeah, everything's being cancelled
It's
these
the
days.
first to me.
I understand.
where black women who were enslaved were his servants. As we come to understand the historical origins of the word, I think we can agree that was an awful place. We probably shouldn't call it that. Can we call it something else, like the primary bedroom or the main bedroom in a house? But we don't want to call it the place where master raped my great-great-great-grandmother.
I understand, but what my point I'm trying to make is that being offended by what somebody says or by a certain term is a choice that you make. You have a choice to not be offended. You have a choice to not let that affect you.
But you also
And I-
have the choice to not use the word.
People are free to say whatever they want to say within reason, but
Absolutely.
you're free to respond and react to that however you choose. And I think being offended by something is a choice that you make. You can choose to simply ignore the reference that it has and to not let it affect you and to not let it make you angry and to not let it make you sad and to not.
That's true and easy. I mean, we had to deal with it most of our lives, and our grandparents getting called the N-word all the time. We had to finally be able to choose not to let it affect us, but it's hard.
I mean, that's facts. You choose to be offended. You choose how you want to react to these things. I'm not going to stop calling it master bedroom. That's just some dumb shit, man. Just literally nitpicking now. I've never heard of that before in my life. I've never heard of that. Yeah, do you know what? Let's take a look at all the words that were on the board to just. So what else we got? We got first world problem. Why? Why is first world problem being cancelled?
Peanut gallery.
I don't even know what that means. Peanut lowest on the totem pole.
Tone deaf.
Ghetto.
Blindsided.
Wait, what? Lane.
Blind spot. Blind leading the blind.
Wait, why is Brainstorm being cancelled?
Spook.
Spook got cancelled a while ago. why is tone deaf?
Because some people are actually tone deaf.
Yeah, but come on, man. We know what context we use it in. Come on, guys. We're better than this. Don't let society crumble like this, man. This is getting depressing.
Blind spot. So if something's in your blind spot, you can't see it, obviously,
Yeah.
which is why it's called blind spot.
Like when you're
So
driving.
if that's cancelled, what are you supposed to call that? The spot where I can't see? It's the same fucking thing.
The black spot. Oh, we'll get cancelled for that. You just can't everything.
It's
like,
just ridiculous.
Why-
That's what it is.
Why is ghetto being cancelled? There are ghettos. And people behave in a way that would make you believe that they come from a ghetto.
Well, brainstorm, yeah, I can't figure out why that would even be an issue. Brainstorm.
Why don't you guys list a bunch of words that you think should be cancelled? Let's see how far we can go with this. Give us your word that you think should be completely erased from Britannica or the English dictionary, completely wiped from thought. I would like to cancel the word cancel. That would be mine.
Yeah.
I'm cancelling cancellations.